Hello, readers of Every Word, and welcome to Every Word 365. I'm your host, Christina Madsen, and today we're reading Genesis 6 through 9. Welcome to day number 3. So in 3 days, we have covered creation, Adam and Eve, the fall, and now Noah's Ark. Sheesh, that's a lot in a small amount of time. There are so many good discussions to have about Noah and the ark, but I try to always remember that we are taking a mountaintop view of the Bible, 10,000 feet up. Honestly, we could study this one reading for an entire year. So I know it's a lot. It's kind of like taking in water from a fire hose, but stay with us and just remember you can always go back and study more later. This is a mountaintop view. So this is why I often share a lot of links. If you don't have the time or interest for more than the daily reading, that's totally fine. If you want to learn a little more and provoke more discussion, then read through the links for more. I hope that all makes sense. The reading is the most important part. The links are just for more information if you're interested. So did you catch how long the flood actually lasted? Most people will answer with 40 days, 40 nights. But look what the Bible actually says. Starting in Genesis 8:3, after 150 days, exactly 5 months from the time of the flood began, the boat came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. 2.5 months later, as the waters continued to go down, other mountain peaks became visible. After another 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the boat and released a raven. The bird flew back and forth until the flood waters on the earth had dried up. He also released a dove to see if the water had receded and it could find dry ground. But the dove could find no place to land because the water still covered the ground. So it returned to the boat, and Noah held out his hand and drew the dove back inside. After waiting another 7 days, Noah released the dove again. This time, the dove returned to him in the evening with a fresh olive leaf in its beak. Then Noah knew that the flood waters were almost gone. He waited another 7 days and then released the dove again. This time, it did not come back. Noah was now 601 years old. On the first day of the new year, 10.5 months after the flood began, the flood waters had almost dried up from the earth. Noah lifted back the covering of the boat and saw that the surface of the ground was drying. 2 more months went by, and at last the earth was dry. Do you see why it's so important to read every word of the word? You can't just take as truth things that you've heard as a kid or perceptions that have been created over time. So, in case you weren't doing the math through all of that, it is generally accepted that it lasted 371 days if you count the first and last days as full days. And I'm including a link on more on that and where that number comes from. Again, it is debated. Generally speaking, that has been the accepted number. But again, most people would say it lasted for 40 days and 40 nights. It rained for 40 days. But the flood lasted 371 days. And could there really be enough room for all those animals, 2 of some and 7 of others? Did you catch that? And did you know the significance of the rainbow? I'll be honest, I didn't. Somehow I missed that lesson growing up. I had no idea of the rainbow connection to the Bible at all, to be totally honest. So I love that it is a symbol from God and a promise that he'll never destroy the earth again. And what's with the story of Noah getting drunk afterward? So I'm including a bunch of links on some of those topics. God may not promise a comfortable journey, but he does guarantee a safe landing. That is from our Bible in today's reading. I love the bold print little nuggets. So be sure to check up on those every day because those in and of themselves could be a great daily devotional. Also, I know many of you still don't have your Bible, so don't worry. I know some of them are on back order. I will continue to share the reading assignments and intro pages each day in the emails and Facebook messages that go out. Just be sure that you have ordered it online or through a store so that you get it eventually. And don't forget, if you want to be on that Facebook page, I'm including a link in the podcast description. So excited that you are a part of this experience. Tomorrow's reading is Genesis 10 through 11. Happy reading!